Hello everyone, my name is RohitLad and this is my video presentation for my master degree. Today I'll be talking about one master in particular from the book Mastery by Robert Greene that I think best resonates with me. So let's dive in, shall we? So let's talk about a little bit about my master journey. So currently I'm learning to be a master of my field, and as it is said, we only stop learning when we die. So initially, I started to be a computer engineer in different university, but didn't really like it. So I stopped. I reconsidered, and now I'm doing my game design in masters in Full Sail University. This is a little information about Yoki Matsuyoko. I chose her because I resonate with her in many ways, and I found myself on the same path as she was when she was about my age. She first studied electrical engineering in her bachelor's at UC Berkeley. Then she went on to MIT Graduate School to study robotics. After she was done with robotics, she studied neuroscience. This helped her understand human brain function, which she would implement in her robotics projects. Because she had such a knowledge, she combined best of the both worlds and created a new field which she dubbed as neurorobotics. One thing I learned from her is that even if you think that what you study now is irrelevant to your career you want to pursue, that might not be the case. You can always combine these fields that are not related to each other and create your own field, as Yoki Matsuyo did. But while such a feat is not easy at all, but it certainly is not impossible. If I get a chance to meet Yoki Matsuoka face to face, then I would ask simply two questions. What drove her to acquire so many degrees when most of the people will, like you and me, would settle for a bachelor's or a master's degree and then for a job just to make a living? And the second one would be, what would have she done if the degree she chose in her bachelor's, that being electrical engineering, was not to her liking, like the piano lessons or the swimming lessons she took when she was a kid? Now let's talk about social intelligence. It is a very tricky business until you get a hang of it. Sometimes it tests your patience, like in the case of Goethe. He had to listen and be quiet in front of his peers even though he knew how foolish they were. He suffered the fools gladly. Also, you have to see yourself through eyes of people. Case in point, Temple Grandin. When she thought she has overcome her awkwardness, she was actually just avoiding looking into people's eyes and making herself feel confident. When people critiqued her, she took it positively and worked on that, and eventually she overcome her awkwardness. Now let's talk about the seven deadly realities. There are basically seven deadly realities, and much like the seven deadly sins, just not that biblical. I can relate to conformism and laziness the most, and they can be the biggest hurdle in my journey. I feel like that. So, conformism. I tend to speak out and break the tradition where really should not. This can be an issue according to Green, and I constantly try to work on that. Laziness. This reality is so common, I feel like it's overrated, but still I can relate to that. I tend to lose the sight of my future goals over a long period of time. So the solution to that is I take what I have in my hands and focus on it. Take one small step at a time towards my future goal. So these are my references I use for this video presentation. And thank you for listening. I hope I did well and have a good day.